Hi, so I'm going to be looking at my recent graphic novel hauls for the past 2 weeks. Yeah, because I don't think I've done one in a while actually. And these are ones that I will be reading once I finish reading my mountain of comics. So I'll be doing some reviews later, but this isn't a review. This is just an overview of what I've bought. Because like I said, I've done like focusing, but I've not really done hauls. So recently, I've bought one, two, three, four, five, six, seven graphic novels. Obviously, like I said, it's as mentioned before, it's been Free Comic Book Day week, and so I didn't bother going in on Saturday. I did it last year, and the queue went all the way around the streets. Literally, I was like queuing up for an hour. There's just so many people, and I love the concepts of Free Comic Book Day. I did a video last year, and I think I had about 40 plus free comics, but I've only kept one. So I just feel like it's wasteful on my part and to grab a bunch of comics what and end up not reading. And it's a bit selfish as well that I take away a pile of comics what somebody else could really potentially really enjoy and get a lot of joy from them. So I just thought I'd go during the week. So I went on Friday and I went on Wednesday to pick up my haul. And during that time as well, I picked up some graphic novels while I was in the shop because with my and I also got one online. So with my local comic shop, they do 3 for 2 on all graphic novels, including omnibuses if you're that way inclined, which I'm not. So if you use it sensibly, you can make quite a nice saving. So I think I did okay. So I'll look at the smaller one. No, I'll look at. I'll go by company. I'll look at the ones I got from Boom. So I got books 2 and 3 of Ghost Lore. I got volume 1 ages ago. I think I did a review. It was a long time ago. It's over a year ago. So if I did, I can't show the link because I've not prepared that far in advance. But they're written by Cullen Bunn, art is by Leo Max, who's a really good artist. They've done quite a bit of DC work since. And it says it's 2 survivors, 2 prophets, 2 quests, countless stories. So this collects 5 to 8 issues, 5 to 8, and this collects 9 to 12. So basically, it's a father and daughter team who's a minister, if I remember rightly. It's been a while since I'll have to reread volume 1 again. And they end up something happens in life where they end up both seeing dead people, seeing spirits, but because of the situation that happens in their life that causes a friction and a rupture in their relationship, so they go their separate ways. So it says here, Harmony and Lucas are split apart, driven to separate paths after the tension between them grows. While Harmony wishes to help the ghosts she encounters, Lucas is fearful, ready to battle them off. After parting ways, each will have to take a different path in the hope of finding Emily's ghost. I think Emily is her mum and his wife who passed away. So it says they continue telling the story of a father and daughter navigating a world perpetually haunted by a ghost. So she's pro ghost. She's wants to help the ghost. He wants to basically just wipe them out. He's going as the aggressor, and she's more the pacifist. But the art is beautiful. Leo Max is a really, really nice artist. So I'm pleased I got these because Volume 3 finishes off the storyline. It was just a 12-issue series, and Cullen Bunn does some of his best work when he works with Boom. So I'm very, very happy I've got this. Nice use of colours, really nice artwork, and I most likely do like a review of all 3 books once I've finished reading them. And then keeping on with the Boom Train, one of my favourite writers and artists, Jeff Lemire, and I was getting this in floppies, but I don't like the paper formats of Boom's comics. It seems very shabby, just doesn't feel nice. So I prefer trade rate waiting. So I picked up. Oh, I hate one of my comic shops. What I love, Traveling Man. They're great, but the sticker labels, what they put prices on, or those that break apart in 3 sections, so they're really fiddly to get off. So I picked up Minor Arcana by Jeff Lemire, and it's issues 1 through to 5. Only, even with the free, without the free two, it would only be £12.99, so it's a lot cheaper than buying it in comic format. So this is when Teresa's mum, a phony small-town psychic, falls ill. Teresa has to return home to take care of her, but she soon discovers that everyone in town is mysteriously connected to the tarot, and that she may actually have real psychic abilities. Now it's up to her to reconcile with her ailing mother, confront the failures of her past, and help the townsfolk she'd spent her entire life running from. So Jeff Lemire, in interviews leading up to the release of this series, said this was like his love letter to Vertigo. Vertigo was like his comic book company. It was mine as well growing up. So this was basically his version of the Vertigo comic. I think this will hit with you if you like Jeff Lemire's writing, but most importantly, I know he's very Marmite when it comes to his art style. Some people, like me, really love it. Others don't like it because it's not your traditional meat and potatoes kind of comic art. It's very, very stylized, very quirky, but I really enjoy it. So can't wait to read this, and I will give a review again. And this was really good value. Like I said, it's all part of the free for two offer as well. But even without the free for two, it's only $19.99. There's 300 pages, and it's the complete collection of Cullen Bunn. See, Cullen Bunn again, and Jonas Scarf. They did Basilisk together, which was a series I really enjoyed from Boom. And it's the complete collects the full 12 issues of Bone Parish, which is a horror mystery set in New Orleans. So it's got that nice like hint of voodoo, tarot, and things like that. Cullen Bunn's got to be the hardest working writer in comics. Sometimes he misses, but I think when he does like his comfort zone, like horror, that's where he hits the ball out of the park. He's not. I don't like him doing superheroes. I prefer him doing more creative stuff like this. So can't wait to read this. This might be my first one that I'll read. No, it might be my second one I read. I'll show you why in a bit. But yeah, really nice. Really happy with that. And then I did a review, and I think I did a review, but I sang the praises of book 1 of Criminal from Ed Brubaker. It's this new printed edition. So this is book 2, Lawless. Great cover. Of course, Sean Phillips, Ed Brubaker's right-hand man. He does all the arts on their joint efforts. I was blown away by the first book, so I can't wait to read this one. So slowly but surely, I'll build up the collection of Criminal in this format. I'm not too fussed about hardcovers. Now we're moving on to Rebellion / 2000 AD. Oh, that's from Image, by the way. We're moving on to the Rebellion / 2000 AD publications. Pardon me. First up is a book I've been waiting ages for. This is one of the best science fiction stories of the past 15 years. I know some people who were diehard old school 2000 AD kind of just, for some weird reason, just brushed 2000 AD under the carpet. I know in the mid to late 90s, 2000 AD really dips. They started using reprints of other companies and stuff like that. And they got on the whole lads mag kind of vibe. But Rebellion then took over, and they've had a brand new leash of life, I'd say. 2000 AD now is as exciting as it was when it first came out and in its heyday in the early 80s. And one of the byproducts of that was this great series by Robbie Morrison on writing and Henry Flint, who's one of my all-time favourite artists on art, and that's Shikara. And it says on the back here, Shikara, Shikara, Shikara. The complete tale of Shikara is now collected in one volume. Shikara is the most feared entity in the universe, an unstoppable killing machine determined to bring vengeance upon those who annihilated his entire species, and nothing in the whole of the known universe will be able to stop it. A visually outrageous and impossibly epic tale of shocking violence and destruction. This artwork is just beautiful. There is nothing like this art. What I love about 2000 AD, they take risks, and the characters aren't always going to be relatable humanoid characters. They can be completely alien, like Nemesis and like Shikara here. But the subtle use of colours as well in the artwork, it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's over 300 pages. It's $29.99. I got it quite a bit cheaper on Amazon, I think, for this one. Didn't go get this from a local comic shop. I think this will be the first of the graphic novels that I will be reading, just because I have such good memories of when it came out in the progs originally, in the 2000 AD comic originally. But I dipped out to 2000 AD for a few years, for about 2 years, when I was going through a really bad patch in my life. So I missed the ending of it. So it'd be nice to finally get the conclusion on it. And there is back matter as well. So it's got the covers. So yeah, really, really happy with this. And next up, this is a real curiosity. This has just been on my radar for a while now. So Jose Munoz, I was a fan of theirs from the mid 80s. I think it was Eclipse who released this. In the mid 80s, there was a real fad for European comics, which is a fantastic fad to have. So stuff what was normally wasn't available in the States got a real push, not just in graphic novels, but in monthly comics. And there's a monthly comic that came out, I can't remember the name of it now, but they published a lot of European strips. And one of them was Alax Sinner by Jose Munoz. And his art style was what Keith Giffen got accused of plagiarizing in the 80s, when his art style started getting very weird in Hex, and when he did like really heavy shadows in Hex, and in the early mid 80s Legion. But what I didn't know was that Jose Munoz did work for IPC, which was the publisher of British comics like Valiant, Lion, etc. And then he moved on to doing things like Battle and 2000 AD. So in 1973, in early 1970s, 72, 73, Jose Antonio Munoz did work in Lion magazine. So in here, I collected all his strips, and his art style is again very different to how it was in Alax Sinner, and it's this gorgeous, heavy ink work. It looks trippy as fuck as well, so I can't wait to dive into this. You can see shades of what he ended up doing with his art style in some of the inking choices, but very, very attractive artwork. And I think Eric Bradbury inks him on the final strip, and they kind of work well together. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. It says in 1973, Munoz worked on 3 short-lived strips in Lion. Stitch in Time follows the adventures of a young boy named Stitch Cotton and his alien friend Val after they steal a time machine from the sinister space master Mr. Universe. Yeah. And Lost in Limbo Land, written by Chris Lauder, follows Barry Smith, a studious bookworm who is struck by lightning and flung into a world of Norse myth and legend. And the final strip, Sark the Sleeper, sees a starship commander accidentally woken from hypersleep by 2 boys who are completely unaware that they are passengers on an interstellar spacecraft flying across the universe in search of a new home. This is £16.99. It's that nice big format, what Rebellion does for a lot of their graphic novels. Really high quality matte paper. so the black and white artwork really pops. And it's just the whole design is just gorgeous. I love how they've done the cover as well, where they've just taken panels from different strips. So very, very happy with that. The real mixed bag of books, which is what I like. Yeah, no superhero books in there. I tend to keep my superheroes on the whole in comic DC in comic format and Marvel as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like when I do a review of not got it on hand. When I do a review of and a look at the new relaunched Heavy Metal, you'll see what I mean about my taste. They've always veered to the stranger side of comics. I love superheroes. I mean, you can see in my reviews. I read a lot of superhero comics, but it wouldn't hurt me if they stopped doing superhero comics. Put it that way. I'm happy to try other genres. Other genres get me excited, and they stop me from getting superhero fatigue. But that's digression. But I hope you enjoyed looking at those. Like I said, I will be doing a deeper dive on a lot of these, and I'll be doing a review of quite a lot of these books as well as I read them. Okay, so bye, bye, bye.